So we've been hearing a lot about the potential challenges that Big Sky might have facing in the near future. So we thought it would be useful to present some community models of what other folks throughout the American West have done to address some of the same similar problems. So Big Sky is not the first community to deal with water and wastewater issues. So we can start by looking at Telluride, Colorado. It's a mountain town similar to Big Sky. The community wanted to preserve the aesthetics, open space, their sense of place, preserve the ecology and the history. And one way they were thinking about doing that was to use eminent domain, to acquire some land in the valley bottom to protect it from development and protect their water resources. So, as with any kind of eminent domain case, there are legal hurdles that must be overcome. So you have legal challenges, and eventually a plan was developed for a negotiated settlement, and then the land was put into a conservation easement. Following the conservation easement, there's some stream restoration projects that have taken place. And so we can look at this example and think of land acquisition and conservation easements as being potentially a viable option for Big Sky to move forward. So the next mountain town similar to Big Sky to check out would be Vail, Colorado. Their particular goals were to restore Gore Creek that runs through town there, and similar to Big Sky, it's a creek that's prized for its valuable fishing. And also similar to Big Sky, it has impairment problems. It's on the EPA list of impaired streams. So they're seeing a lot of similar impairment issues because of urban drainage, urban runoff that gets into the streams, and so there's similar contaminant problems. So their plan included restoration projects, community education, very same thing that's going on right now here. And they looked at rules and regulations for development. And they've also spent up to $2 million studying which of those plans makes the most impact for cleaning up their area there. So that's another thing that Big Sky might want to consider, is that even having plans to evaluate plans is a good way to figure out which one of your plans is going to have the biggest bang for your buck. We can also learn a little bit from municipalities throughout the American West. We're not the entire American West is a dry climate, so you can look at what places like Denver have done. They employ Xeriscaping, and which is it's a method of landscaping using drought tolerant or drought resistant plants. So in a lot of arid west regions, that means planting plants that are kind of native to that area, that use less water, or when water is not available, they don't die off quickly. So that's another conservation project that Big Sky could look at, maybe some xeriscaping rules and regulations. You can also look at Los Angeles and using purple pipe systems, which are systems that use treated wastewater exclusively for irrigation. There's already some purple pipe projects here in Big Sky, so that's not something new. But you also might want to consider putting rules and regulations in development that help incentivize using these treated wastewater irrigation systems. Los Angeles also captures their urban runoff and recharges their groundwater. So that's something that Big Sky could look at too. We saw from the previous discussions that groundwater is a significant water supply here, so there might be some storage capacity in that aquifer, something that could possibly be used. Toilet to tap is not probably the best term if if you're thinking about passing something on the ballot to fund a conservation project, but it really gets the point across about what it does. It captures wastewater, treats it to a very high quality so that it can be redistributed in the drinking water system. So there's a public perception that's kind of a yuck factor about that, but yet in dire situations, that's another place for getting some water supply that you normally just discharge your wastewater. So we've heard some talking tonight about using treated wastewater effluent for snowmaking. Flagstaff, Arizona has a ski resort that's doing that now. They've come into some legal challenges because Native American tribes hold the mountain sacred, and they believe that treated wastewater effluent being sprayed on their mountain is kind of desecrating their sacred lands. So there can be some legal battles that can result from using treated wastewater effluent. And then finally, there's a recent study up at Bridger Bowl using constructed wetlands for remediation of wastewater. And high altitude environments are not generally the ideal location where you use treated wetlands because you need a long growing season, you need warm temperatures to treat the nutrients in the wastewater. But this is a kind of a pilot project that shows that it can be done, and it may be a viable tool to have in Big Sky's portfolio of options to use for treating their wastewater effluent. So I am going to finish right now.